The Banshee is a ghostly figure with a haunting presence and the power to unleash a blood-curdling wail that can kill those who hear it. With its gossamer wings, ethereal appearance, and otherworldly powers, the Banshee is a formidable opponent and a force to be reckoned with in any adventure.
However, it should be noted that despite its eerie appearance, some say that the Banshee is not evil by nature but driven by a relentless pursuit of revenge or a terrible curse.
Good point, Dazzle. Whatever the reason, those who encounter this ghostly entity must be prepared for a battle of wits and resilience, or face the dire consequences of its wail. Now that we know what a Banshee is, let's talk some features. The Banshee has a hover speed of 40. Damage resistance are acid, fire, lightning, thunder, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. Its damage immunities are cold, necrotic, and poison.
These creatures are always a pain in the butt to deal with. Too many immunities and resistances for my spells. How am I going to remember all of this?
Well, Dazzle, it gets so much worse. They also have the following condition immunities: charmed, exhaustion, frightened, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, and restrained.
By the gods! Let's get the cleric to deal with them. You get this one then, Baston.
Did you tell me that my holy powers were weaker than your arcane arts?
That was 72 years ago. Let it go, Vastin. Why do dwarves insist on holding grudges?
Same reason gnomes have big head. It's in our blood.
Guys, let's get back on topic here, please. The Banshee also has a dark vision of 60 feet and a terrible passive perception of 10. We then have the Banshee's unique features, starting with the tech line. The Banshee can magically sense the presence of a creature up to 5 miles away that aren't undead or constructs. She knows the general direction they're in, but not their exact locations. Explains why her passive perception is terrible when she can sense your presence fairly easily.
Talk about being creepy and all.
No fucking shit. It's a ghost.
Boys, stay on topic for God's sake.
Which one are we talking about?
The Banshee.
I was referring to which god?
Moving on from Vastin's question, the Banshee also has incorporeal movement. The Banshee can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. She takes 5 or 1d10 force damage if she ends her turn inside an object though. Now let's talk about what they have as far as actions. Their most common attack action is Corrupting Touch, a simple melee spell attack that deals 3d6 plus 2 necrotic damage if it hits. We then have their
Is their horrifying visage. Each non-undead creature within 60 feet of the Banshee that can see her must succeed on a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw or be frightened for 1 minute. A frightened target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns with disadvantage if the Banshee is within line of sight, ending the effect on itself on a success. If a target's saving throw is successful or the effect ends for it, the target is immune or the Banshee's horrifying visage for the next 24 hours. Not bad at all. I dibble dabble.
Well, then, following that feature, we have...
Oh, I have this one. It's the Banshee's famous wail. Once a day, the Banshee releases a mournful wail, provided that she isn't on sunlight. This wail has no effect on constructs and undead. All other creatures within 30 feet of her that can hear her must succeed a 13 Constitution saving throw. On a failure, a creature drops to 0 hit points. However, on a success, a creature takes 10 or 3d6 psychic damage. This creature's legends are widely known across all the lands. Well, it still sends shivers up my spine every time I think about it.
Everything seems shiver down your spine, Dazzle. Even Sarah the Tavern maid does that for you.
Bollocks, I say! Must you always make up stories to make me look bad? We gnomes are brave adventurers. A great example will be Bilbo Baggins.
First off, he was a hobbit. Second, it's a different fantasy setting.
I have to side with Vass on this one, Dazzle. But that's besides the point. Let's get back on topic. Since we just covered the Banshee's features, let's talk some settings. Here are 3 settings that could work on your world. First, we have the Wailing Woman. A Banshee haunts a small village in the countryside. The villagers are afraid to leave their homes after dark because of her mournful wail that is said to bring death and misfortune to those who hear it. The Banshee has been known to appear to travelers on the road leading to the village and is said to foretell the traveler's death. So the villagers have been forced to hire a group of adventurers to seek the Banshee out and eliminate her. A little more direct one, but it should still suffice.
Let Vaz handle the crazy ghost lady. I want nothing to do with it.
What about something not so direct, something a little bit more for my dwarvish palate?
Then let's try out the mirror. A Banshee strapped in a mirror wails every full moon. Any creature that looks into the mirror will be temporarily possessed by the Banshee, causing them to spread terror and death throughout the land. Banshee cannot stray far from the original mirror and will enter a new mirror to rest at the end of the full moon. The only way to break the curse is to find the original mirror and destroy it.
That's a little bit more like it. Adding a little more mistake always makes things more interesting.
What about something with a little bit more of a twist and some mystery to it?
I got what you want, Dazzle. For that, we have the Lone Castle. A Banshee has taken up residence in an old abandoned castle on the outskirts of a kingdom. The castle is said to be haunted by the spirits of the former occupants, who were killed in a mysterious massacre many years ago. The Banshee is believed to be the ghost of the former queen who died in the massacre and is seeking revenge against those who wronged her. The adventurers are hired by the current king to investigate the castle and put an end to the Banshee's terror. But they soon discover the castle is not what it seems, and that the Banshee's motivations are much more complicated than anyone could have imagined. The adventurers must navigate the castle's many secrets and traps, and unravel the truth behind the massacre if they hope to survive and put the Banshee to rest.
I am absolutely certain that I will be able to charm this queen with my personality and intellect.
A little too soon to be adding death flags there, little Dazzle.
Why, you insolent...
Must I reel you in every time? Let's focus here. Now that's all we have for settings. Let's talk some strategy. Now, Banshees are quite simple and straightforward creatures that can be a total wipe or a disappointing fight depending on the rules your party makes. Let's start with the obvious, that as a Banshee you have two powerful choices to start with, one being Horrifying Visage and the other being the Banshee's Wail. The obvious choice would be the Banshee's Wail if the party fails, total TPK. If some fails, it's the move for the battle. If they all succeed, then the Banshee is pretty much kind of fun, unless you have additional troops to aid her, and then you also have Horrifying Visage that would obviously add fear to your survivors, giving the Banshee some field control on the battlefield. Especially if some people go down, she can go to finish them off, and no one can really stop her if they're afraid they can't approach her.
Or you could absolutely also not do any of that and simply let us live.
Where's the fun in living without a challenge, Dazzle? Come on now, I thought you were a brave adventurer.
You and I have completely different definitions on the word challenge. And living, apparently.
Stop being a baby. If you want to make it more formidable, give it the possession ability. The one from the ghosts. You could also always give it spells befitting who the Banshee was when she was alive. Also, have her fight with the initial entourage of either ghosts or some undead trope. The Banshee's pretty straightforward. You could give her equipment spells and make her more difficult, but to be quite honest, the Wail is one of the most powerful tools you have in all of D&D. And to be fair, if they failed, well, that's a TPK, and they're just screwed.
I would like to see. I prefer it if you don't do any of those things. Not that I'm afraid like Dazzle, but I just don't want to make it too difficult.
You're just itching for a fireball, aren't you?
I would just shush you too. But with that being said, that's it for today's video. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Tell me about your favorite encounter with a Banshee in the comment section below. Peace.